Alright, here's a small update on the progress here. Basically what I've done so far is I've connected and mounted the tail light and turn signals in the back. And basically this is just a flexible strip of LEDs that has a double stick tape, and I just mounted it in the back there. I also finished wiring up everything on the panel here. The only thing I'm waiting on is the kill switch and the start switch. And what else? Oh, the control levers, because those have the brake switches on them as well. I had a little bit of problem hooking up the headlights. I did it exactly the way it said on the instructions, and I had no power going to the wire, so I just found another switch 12-volt power source and hooked it up to the headlights. And what I did was I went to the junkyard last weekend and I picked up these plugs for the headlights, because all I had was just the assembly here. I didn't have the plugs, and wired everything all up, and actually installed some LED headlights inside there instead of the regular halogens, because supposedly the stators, 11-pole stators, blow out regular headlights or headlight bulbs. I also put a film on the headlights themselves that's kind of a greenish blue color, and those came out really nice. Just turn it on. See, the headlights are working. The brake light is working, as well as the rear turn signals. So those are working good. I just placed like a $400 order with the ruck shop, and ordered the rear brake cable, which had to be 102 inches long. And the reason why that is, as you all know, I ordered the 86-inch and it was about 10 inches too short. And basically the cable has to run through here, underneath the frame, through the inside here, up through the top. And usually it runs up through here, through the top of the casing, and connects through the top here and pulls this brake lever this way to engage the brake. But in order to get this Doppler shock on, it was hitting on a area right here, and I figured out a way to put this shock on, which in the end is not going to matter anyways, because I'm putting a different shock. But in the long run, it hides the cable a little bit better, because it's going to be running down along the bottom under here. And I made this bracket right here out of 3/16 inch plate steel that bolts on to this bushing that's unused, and so it basically goes into here and pulls back this way instead of forward, and it works either way if you pull it forward or back. So the cable's going to run from here to the back to this bracket, and then run along the bottom and up to the front, and so that hides the cable a little bit better. I ordered also a 90-degree silicone coupling for the carburetor, because it's going to be facing out that way instead of coming out this way. So that gives me a little bit more room. And I ordered the throttle cable as well. Another thing I ordered was the front brake hose, and that should be in pretty soon. Also ordered the turn signals for the front on the battery box, and ordered the a couple of components for the inside of the transmission, final drive gears, and a couple of other things. So those, I'm waiting on those. The seat isn't done yet, or the cushion for the seat isn't done yet, and I'm thinking of doing something else with that and putting, they have usually, you know, the import race cars have the Takata racing harnesses, and I found this kind of a, it's called a backpack strap, I guess, but it's the same material as the Takata harnesses, and I'm going to put it over the bride seat, and that should kind of make it look a little bit better. Also ordered the front cover for the battery box. The horn is coming in as well, and the last and final piece that I need is the gas tank. So that should I'm waiting on that, the last piece for that to come in, and like I say, everything's on order, just waiting for it to come in. And as far as I know, all the wiring is complete until I can do a startup, but I don't want to even try and start it up without, of course, any oil or fluid in the transmission. And I'm going to wait to do the transmission fluids until I can get that final drive gear set in. And oh, I also have to paint the lowered bracket mount for the headlight, but I'm going to wait on that until I get the front battery box cover so I can do it all at one time. And that's I put on a kickstand here. The last one I had was an NCY one, and it hooked up right here, and I had to modify it and do all kinds of stuff to make it work, but I think this makes it look just a little bit cleaner. The only thing I think I might change, just to make it look a little different, is make this arm out of stainless steel. I've pulled it all apart, or at least the CVT part, to release the transmission casing from the swing arm, so I can change out the final drive in here, which I ordered a 1638, and hopefully that helps with the top speed. Also today I ran the throttle cable, came in today, so I ran that, runs through here, down through there, through the little hole, through the inside of the frame. I bought some of these, which were a little bit larger. The ones that I had before were too small. And up to the carburetor. And it's actually really nice and smooth. It doesn't bind, so pretty happy with that. It's the only reason this is the ideal location of where I would like to have this carburetor, but once you put the wheel on, it brings the back swing arm up and then brings this down. I'm still waiting on that 90-degree elbow and the clamps so I can face it the other way. And here are the Takata straps that I ordered to go on the seat. It's just purely a cosmetic element here, because they're really not going to do nothing. They're just going to go wrapped around, and I'm only using one. It's going to go wrapped around the seat and then attached to the bottom. Also placed the order with the ruck shop yesterday, about $400. I don't know if I already said this, but I ordered the rear shock. I decided to go with the low down NCY shock instead of this Doppler shock. I put it on, it looks good, but it doesn't quite match, you know, with what I'm going with, and probably end up just selling it and putting on the other one. Or you know, if I put the other one on, I don't like it, then I'll put this back on. I don't know, we'll see. Also ordered the rear brake cable, which is going to go against here again, and the the turn signals up on the front I ordered with the machined bezels in black. There's might be a couple other things I'm forgetting about, but that'll hopefully be the last time that this is taken apart, unless I gotta, well, I don't need to take the whole thing apart, but in case I need if I decide to change the weights on the variator, I won't have to take apart the whole thing. I'm also thinking about putting a small little piece of plate right here on this bracket just to kind of strengthen it up a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's strong enough. I guess we'll see. Otherwise I can just go back and make a really nice one like I did on my other one. And that's all for today until I can get the parts in, which are supposed to be in on Saturday. Today is Thursday, so I'm on track to be done by May. So there it is. Alright, so today I got, well, actually yesterday I got on all the parts that I needed, the majority of the parts. So like the final last things that I need to come in are the levers and the gas tank. But I got everything else. I ended up getting these, the push start button. I didn't use the other ones because they weren't momentary switches. So I got these ones, which are momentary switches, and it comes with the machined housing that basically goes on right here. And then it basically, you know, you can put it up through the battery box, and I need to either mark it or paint it or something so I can make sure that this is, remember that this is the kill switch and this is a start switch. I also got the final drive gears in the transmission, 1638s final drive gears, and I swapped out that Doppler shock for this low-down NCY. I think it looks a lot better. It goes with the colors better. And so today I'm going to, oh, another thing is I actually ran the brake cable. So that runs down into here on the inside to the bottom, and then around to this custom bracket that I made, and it's just, I mean, it was just barely long enough. This kind of, I'm still wondering if this is going to be long enough to work, but I think it will be. We'll see. Yeah. But this is the longest cable I can get, 102 inches. And I also got the turn signal lights, and with the bezels that go on the back. And so I'm going to work on today putting on the carburetor. I got some T-bolts, T-bolt clamps, and a piece of 90-degree silicone hose, so I can mount this carburetor sideways. So it's kind of facing, this would be facing kind of like over here. Because it's really close right there. And I'm afraid with any of the movement of the shock, which is not very much, but still, it might hit at that point. But we'll see. I think I'll put on the tire and then kind of put some weight on it and see if it's going to hit. But I also did order the Password JDM drag bar that goes through here because through on some unfortunate circumstances, I couldn't get the other bar that I had purchased 2 months ago. So I I just got my money back and I bought that polished Password JDM bar, and that should be coming next week sometime. So that's the only thing, as I'm afraid this is gonna hit in that part, the bracket that goes there. And so on to another thing that I'm doing today is I finally got the front cover for the battery box, and going to paint today. Well, the little elbow didn't work either. It was hitting up on this stabilizer, so I put it out here. I mean, it's got a little bit more room, it's not really hitting. I don't know, and then I can't move it this way because this clocking flange doesn't move more this way. I mean, I could put it back to where it was, but then it'll be too low. I'm gonna try it there. I just finished painting the front cover. So that came out nice. And the headlight mount or bracket, that's done. Just letting it dry a little bit. So I guess that's gonna be it for today. I guess I can put this back on. I had to make this piece out of some pretty stout aluminum. If I had a milling machine, I'd cut it a little bit shorter on the inside and do some designs, but I don't have a milling machine, so I'll leave it like that. Hooked up the start button and the kill switch. The turn signals are working on the front, and the headlight is mounted. I'm gonna have to take it off again because I gotta hook up the horn. And then when I get the brake levers on both sides, I'll hook up this line right here. And that is actually the last piece that needs to be hooked up, the horn and the brake lever wire. The like I say, the headlight, the tail light works. The turn signals work. And the light works. So I've already put in the oil and fluid in the transmission, and I went ahead and ordered that direct fire, the coil on plug ignition NCY for the spark plug. And looks like tonight I will order the gas tank, and that is one of the final pieces, actually one of the most important pieces to the puzzle here. I'm still waiting on the cushion for my seat pan to come in, and then I can once I get the gas tank in and get it mounted up, make sure it clears all this, I'll be able to do a startup, and that's about it. I think I've pretty much buttoned up everything on the front end. I've tightened everything on the axle, put some Loctite on the caliper bolts, and I might have to take off the clamp one last time to get the battery box on. And brake line is hooked up with the custom bracket on the back here. Mounted the NCY shock and Loctited those in. Just going through a checklist here of stuff that I need to do so I don't forget. And have to hook up the fuel lines once I get the tank in. I was going to see if I could do some AN fittings on the tank, but it looks like in order to get them on here, you have to weld on a fitting here and here to run your lines, hard lines up to the top there, so I'm not going to even bother with that. I'm going to just do the braided steel hoses in black. And she's almost done. I would say about another couple of weeks, maybe a week, and I can give it a start up, break in the engine, and that's it. Hooked up the fuel lines and the vacuum line going up to that connection right there. Everything works so far. Got the battery box finally installed for the last time, hopefully, because I connected the horn. That works. Turn signals work. The engine cranks over, just waiting on the gas tank to hook up the final lines, and the JDM or Password JDM drag brace is installed. Push button start works. I don't know about the kill switch, gotta wait till the rest comes in. Brake levers and controls are coming in as well, and should be in within the next week. Other than that, everything else is connected and ready to go. So all the wiring is done. I ended up making an extension to go back here to pull out the carburetor a little bit, and then use the clocking flange to turn it all the way over to the right, and that cleared the drag brace finally. I didn't have to make a riser or anything like that, and it's runs smooth on the throttle, and yeah, just waiting on a couple of things to come in and it'll be done. So today is the day that I've hopefully get it running. Got the brake levers in finally and installed those. Put the connected the front brake line, bled it out, hooked up the brake activation cables, I guess, I don't know what you want to call them, the levers that are on there, the switch that's there to activate the brake light, which in turn you have to press the lever to start the ruckus. Did a couple of changes that I thought that I didn't like, and that was this ground cable that I had going from here to here. I ended up moving it and hooked it up like right here where the breather can mounts, and down here, and hooked it up to right there, so that hides that cable a little bit better. And I ordered a brand new gas tank. So the only thing I got to do to this is fill in this hole because I don't have a fuel sending unit. So basically I'm just going to make a little metal blank and then just TIG weld it in, seal it up, and then I'm going to primer it, paint it with a wrinkle black, and then install it, and then finish hooking up the last brake line. All the rest are hooked up, and give it a start and see how it goes from there. Alright, so it's I cheated a little bit and I put it all together. I got the gas tank painted, installed, put the fuel lines in, bled out the brakes and everything else, adjusted them, tightened everything up, and started it up. Now yesterday I took it out for its first test ride, and it was doing really good. Hit a couple of snags on the way, but I worked them out, figured and fixed them this morning. And as you can see, the tires are already dirty. I took it out for a ride this morning. Great pickup, excellent speed on it. I think I got it up to not the top speed. I haven't really gotten that far, but I got it up to about 45-50 miles an hour, and it was still going pretty strong. Overall, I don't think I'll ever go back to the 49cc. I'll always stick with this GY6. I might end up even in time swapping out that GY6 into my other ruckus and go from there. But it starts up, works really good. Have to press the handlebar to start it up. So, yep, it starts up, works really good. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is I've seen several people post photos on the weakness of the GY6 swing arm. Seems to be two areas that it splits, and it starts from right here along the bottom and somewhere around here. So I'm going to thinking of doing the right side swing arm that somehow connects up to the center axle and runs around and connects up to this area where the exhaust is hooked up. I think I saw a kit online at Rucksters for about $380. I can probably make one after I figure out how to mount the center. I would say for about maybe $100 or less with just materials out of stainless steel. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this and go from there. For those of you that are watching and are gonna ask me where I got all the parts, there was maybe 4 or 5 main shops or online stores that I bought everything from. The main one being the Ruck shop. They probably sold me about 2/3 of the parts that I used on this project. The other was Machined Machines. I mean, great product. He just seems to be a really busy guy and can't really keep up with a lot of the orders that he has. That was the main problem that I had. But like I say, it's a great product. And I might order again from him, I don't know. Because I'm thinking of getting another set of wheels for my other ruckus and doing a white wall tire on them. But you know, that's another time. The other place was Drow Sports, where I got the GY6 harness. And I don't care what anybody says, that Danmax harness was perfect. It hooked up right on. All the instructions were clear, except for, you know, certain things that actually weren't the fault of the harness. It was the manufacturer of the stator. And yeah, it just, everything was labeled correctly. It hooked up perfectly. It started up the first time. So yeah, I would definitely go with the Danmax harness again. It was cheaper than all the other ones that are out there for, you know, $300 or $400. And the other place that I purchased a lot of my stuff was eBay. You know, I got the motor from eBay, the GY6 motor, all the bolts and washers, and the rear shock, lug nuts, all of the painting supplies. You know, like I say, a lot of it came from eBay. Another place was Password JDM. Got a lot of stuff from them. So far, I'm happy with them. I was happy with their service, happy with the parts, and yeah, that's it. Now it's time. The only thing I'm waiting on is the seat, the butt pad that goes here. It's going to be a bride material with the Takata strap around the side, and just going to kind of Velcro on, and that's how it's going to be held on. And that should be ready hopefully tomorrow. But other than that, it's completely done. It's ready to go. Like I say, I drove it yesterday and this morning. Great speed. Getting a lot of good looks from everybody. Wondering what this is. And the other ruckus, the first one I built is now my wife's. So she's going to be riding that with me. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks for watching.